Yo ho! I don't want to be here anymore. Hello, welcome back to London. My name is Beast, and I'm back with the good old Hoshizora no Memoria. I'm not going to be recording for too long today, mainly because I literally just got done with the D&D session, and it is half past 10 a.m. 10 p.m. Not a.m. p.m. Oh, there's a difference. It's quite drastic one even. So yeah, this is only going to be a short one, like I said. So yeah. As well as the session just overall was mildly stressful. It was an interesting concept. But the execution was just kind of yikes. Let's just say it like that. I was playing D&D, yet for some reason I thought I had entered a roguelike. A roguelike. Yes, roguelike, not roguelite. Funky retarded. Anyways, so yeah, let's just get this over with. I'll just skim the romance, like just sheer romance stuff, by the way, because I want to know about his dad. That's what I want to know about. I don't really care about her trying to make out with the MC. So yeah. Anyways, Kokosaki Chinami is a maiden. Her older brother Yo would likely laugh at that notion, but the general opinion is that every single girl is probably a maiden at heart. It's only a degree of how much so, though it is of no concern to Chinami how much of a maiden she is compared to the average female out there. What serves as proof for her being one, that would be the fact that she possesses a treasure. A treasure being a music box. The music box is currently placed on her much-loved sideboard number 2. The reason she relentlessly insisted on having her elder brother buy her that sideboard was because of that music box.
おはようございます。
Her eyes closed shut and her hair messy as can be. Her eyes closed shut and her hair messy as can be. She takes that music box, which is of the paper kind, into her hands. She begins to turn the handle, upon which the paper music box plays its sweet melody. Gradually, her mind is awoken. She never has the chance to do this on weekdays when she's off and pressed on time. But on days off, when she has no need to set her alarm, she often listens to her music box as a wake-up ritual. She also listens to it oftentimes before going to bed. Listening to the tune calms Chinami. It veils her in this encompassing sense that everything will be alright. Drifting about in that warm sensation, she becomes revitalized. It is in part due to this music box that she is able to spend her days charged full of energy like a nuclear missile. It's what gives her the strength to keep going even when she's on the verge of yielding to her self-loathing, which would likely cause her heart to snap like a dried twig. She's able to go through her days full of energy, with sheer optimism. She can live life with a radiant smile on her face. She can smile for the older brother of hers she so dearly loves. Although she herself has no conscious awareness of it, her current mental state rests on that metaphorical teeter-totter.
ちなみ、ねむねむじゃないから起きるね。
Chinami goes down to the kitchen in order to finally prepare breakfast for her brother, swaying her half-awake head all the while.
なんでもう朝ごはん食べてるのお兄ちゃん。
As Eve, my dimwit sister's morning greeting, which had already made its way to routine status since moving here. Well, first off, I'm eating lunch, not breakfast. There may be no school today, but still, I think you overslept a tad bit too much.
寝すぎだからってなんでお兄ちゃんがご飯作ってるの？
Well, do you want me to starve?
だからこそちなみが作ってあげるんだよ。
No, I'd still starve.
食えないよ。
Are you trying to mock me for having actual normal taste buds, you little snot?
ちなみの行為がいつもグリグリで打ち消されてるんだけど。
As always, she was hooting and hollering, not even minutes after getting out of bed. She was hardly a morning person, so I suppose she could always have gotten ready in her room and not came down until she was fully awake. Though I did see her enter the kitchen sometimes half asleep, so who knew? She was meek and quiet all those times, but the fact that she tried to help with cooking didn't change. So there you have it. You aren't to step foot in the kitchen until doomsday arrives.
どういうわけかちなみにはさっぱりなんだけど。
Why are you so eager about cooking in the first place?
何度も言ってるじゃない。ちなみはお兄ちゃんのお世話したいの。
Oh, so you want my life insurance?
冗談だとしても深刻な表情で言ってほしくなかったよ、お兄ちゃん。
Well, before trying to take care of me, I think you should take care of yourself.
それをクリアしたからステップアップしたんだよ。
Yeah, I'm just not seeing it.
したんだよ。ちなみはもう子供じゃないからね。
Sheesh, come on now. You just went and insulted all the little girls in the world.
どれだけちなみのこと下に見てるの、お兄ちゃん。
Look at what we have here, Chinami. It's your favorite mayonnaise.
お兄ちゃんほど失礼な人をちなみは未だかつて見たことないよ。あらあら、ダメよ、ようちゃん。ちなみちゃんいじめちゃ。
Onshino had gotten up.
今すぐご飯作るからね。
Her eyes shut, Onshino patted the chopping board with a duster.
しのさん、だったらちなみも手伝いますね。
Chinami started to pat the chopping board as well. By the time I finished lunch, the chopping board was spotless. While Onshino now returned to normal, and Chinami had their rather late lunch, I got ready to leave.
お兄ちゃん出かけるの？
Yeah, but I thought you were eating.
もう食べ終わったよ。ちなみは大抵3口で食事を終えることが可能だからね。
So that essentially equated to one bite per dish.
明日は3口以上食べられる朝食をちなみが作ってあげるからね。
First, you need to focus on getting up earlier. Cooking and whatnot comes after that.
じゃあちなみが早起きしたら作らせてくれるんだね。
Well, sure, I guess. Chinami gave me a puzzled look.
お兄ちゃんが許してくれるなんて珍しいね。
Well, you promised Mom that you'd sleep early and get up early after all. Hence, I had no intention to complain about her getting up early. And if promising to let her make breakfast led to her getting up early, I didn't mind that
絶
either.
対明日はお兄ちゃんより早く起きるからね。
Need to prepare myself should that situation really come to pass. We'll see. Not that I'm expecting anything, though. Alright then, I'll be back later. See you,
どこ
Chinami.
行くの？
Milky Way.
もしかしてバイト？
Yep. Promised also I'd work today. I'll be back before dinner, though.
じゃあちなみも行くね。
Why do you have to come too?
ちなみもバイトしたいから。
And how much progress have you made on your summer break homework?
どうもしてないよ。
Please, for the love of God, at least start on it.
でもちなみはひばり校に転入してから宿題忘れて先生に怒られたことないんだよ。
Obviously, they've all smartly labeled you as a lost cause.
そんなことないよ。いつも提出日によくできましたって褒められてるよ。
Do you copy off someone else?
映してないよ。妖精さんが手伝ってくれてたんだよ。
How many fingers am I holding up?
ちなみは成長だよ、お兄ちゃん。
Was Miss Fairy the nickname of a new friend of hers?
ちなみが宿題やってると妖精さんが現れることがあるんだよ。大抵夜遅い時間だけどね。
Answer me honestly, have you ever once done your homework in your room?
ちなみはこれでも陰で努力してるんだよ。確率的には低いけどね。
Okay, so it would appear she actually put an effort when she felt like it.
そんなちなみだからきっと妖精さんが手伝ってくれるんだよ。妖精さんはどうせ夢ですからって言ってちなみが寝てる間に消えちゃうけどね。
In other words, this fairy person was her imaginary friend. Well, I guess putting an effort rarely is better than never at all.
料理もそろそろ努力すべきだって気づいたんだよ。だから、ちなみにも朝ごはん作らせてね。
Problem with that kind of effort, however, was that unlike with studying, this one brought about actual harm to her surroundings. I checked the time on the clock. It's about time to get going. Alright, I gotta get to work.
行ってきまーす。
Are you kidding me? Chinami started putting on her shoes.
ちなみも一緒にバイトするね。
No thanks.
アスホ先輩と一緒にお兄ちゃんにご奉仕するね。
Don't say stuff people are gonna take the wrong way.
でもちなみは新米メイドだから上級プレイは許してね。
We're chaining you to your bed and waiting for me to get home count as too advanced.
最上級すぎてちなみには耐えられないよ。
Don't worry, I have faith in you.
ちなみの靴紐傘立てに縛らないでお兄ちゃん。
Alright, later.
りょうちゃんお出かけ？
Art stopped momentarily. Shit, is your dog?
ごめんなさいね。お出かけの前にちょっといいかしら。
A wave of relief washed over me upon seeing that she probably hadn't. I was working part-time behind her back. She learned about it, had the feeling she'd make me quit. It was due to our food expenses that I was continuing to work nonetheless. I wanted to give her that money as a tangible expression of her gratitude for taking care of us. Do you want some with me?
それとちなみちゃんに。
After saying that, Don Chino held out 2 envelopes. I remembered something similar to this happening.
夏祭りも終わったし、またお小遣いあげるわね。わーい！
No, wait a moment.
お兄ちゃん見て見て！ちなみの封筒から福沢諭吉さんが3人も出てきたよ。
Hand it over.
毎度ながら鬼だよこの人。
You can have this back on Shino.
ちなみちゃんどうぞ。お兄ちゃんのと合わせて福沢諭吉さんが8人に増殖したよ。
Hand it over.
鬼だよ。
You can have this back on
ちな
Shino.
みちゃんどうぞ。わーい！
Hand it over.
落ち込んだり喜んだり、ちなみとても大変だよ。
On Shino, I know you want us to have money, but you just gave us some not too long ago. Push the envelopes into On Shino's hand.
私があげたいから渡すのよ。それに、りょうちゃんは無駄遣いしないって知ってるから。
On Shino handed them over to Chinami.
ちなみちゃんも無駄遣いしないわよね。大切に使いますから。多いと思ったら貯金してね。
Without giving me any time to object, Don Chino went back.
ちなみの生涯賃金の2万がお祭りでなくなったところだからちょうどよかったよお兄ちゃん。これで第二の人生設計を立てることも可能だよ。
Hand it over.
ちなみの人生設計が
You're a zombie, so you gotta be tough and put up with the little stuff like that.
それは差別だよお兄ちゃん。人間だってゾンビだって宇宙人だってお金の下で平等に生きる権利があるんだよ。
No, that's capitalism. Kinda your third-rate zombie.
一体どんなゾンビなの？
Look, it's your own stupid fault for blowing 20,000 yen at the summer festival in the first place. Don't Chino not tell you to spend it wisely?
だってすぐなくなっちゃうんだもん。ちなみの消費エネルギーは2万ポチじゃすぐ空になるんだもん。
Can't eat your third-rate nuclear missile.
燃費が悪いって言いたいのお兄ちゃん。
I already gave you pocket money for this month. So how about this? I'll hold on to the money and give it to you next month.
それじゃあちなみはどうやって生きればいいの？
Have you ever heard of that serpent called Ouroboros that eats its own tail?
無限の存在になるのはちなみにはまだ荷が重いよ。
Alright, I'm off to work. Accompanied by an aha, Chinami opened her
とて
mouth.
つも
Candy, you third-rate maid.
ちなみの青を見通すお兄ちゃんがとてつもなく恐ろしくてたまらないよ。
There is no reason for you to work just because you have no money.
それじゃあちなみはどうやって生きればいいの？
Well, there's plenty of fresh air to live on at the lookout.
1000人になるのもちなみには荷が重いよ。
Okay, I'm leaving.
行ってきまーす。
I'd already resigned myself to the fact that Chinami was coming no matter what.
先輩、ちなみ一人でユニフォーム着られました。
I'll just immediately say, Chino is great and all, but by God, she's terrible at raising kids. Like, wanting to be kind to Yo, who's like trying to act too adult, is fine and all. But Chinami is clearly just not fucking advancing in mental age at all since the fucking age of 7. She blew 200 fucking books. The goddamn summer festival. And is still complaining that she has no money for the month. Like, quite frankly, that's just fucking pissing me off. You can fucking go fuck yourself. Also, what the fuck does Shino earn for her to be able to to go like, oh here you fucking go, there's fucking 40,000 yen, fucking 400 bucks in goddamn pocket change, in pocket money. I mean. What the fuck? Like, yes, you should just accept the kind of her, like, paying for food and stuff. Because, yes, he's also still a fucking child, a goddamn student. But Chinami's fucking... She has no fucking sense of value for money, it seems. No fucking, like, responsible spending experience or anything like that. Leave her in charge of the family finance and sent there on the fucking street within a month.
よくできました。ちなみちゃん、似合ってるよ。
合格だ。
Of course, when she came forth about wanting to work, how wonderfully kind and considerate staff gave her the okay on the spot. Just kill me now.
見て見てお兄ちゃん、お久しぶりのちなみのメイドさんルックだよ。燃えるでしょ、もだえるでしょ。お兄ちゃんが望むならこの姿でお子様ご遠慮のご奉仕だって。
X's and fail like your entire existence.
下手すぎてグリグリされなくても痛いよお兄ちゃん。ようちゃん、可愛いちなみちゃん見たから照れ隠ししてるんだね。
Fat chance.
でもお兄ちゃん生態記録によると、お兄ちゃんがベタな冗談言うときは萌えコスに興奮して
Rip it to shreds.
2冊目もお亡くなりに。
Where's the third one? Spill it right now, twerp.
お兄ちゃんがちなみの体まさぐってる。囚人監視の中で
仲のいい兄弟だね。
ようちゃんがちなみちゃんのバイトに一番喜んでるみたい。
Literally how? Like, I'm only like fucking 20 minutes into the fucking route and I'm already pissed off about everything. You didn't even stop fooling around and get to work if that's what you came here to do.
バカなのはお兄ちゃんだよ。いいよもう。どうせその記録は鑑賞用だもん。保管用は別にあるもん。
so my struggle wouldn't end until I'd shredded apart the copy for safekeeping and the other copy I assumed existed for fantasizing.
お客様来たよ。私が接客するから、ちなみちゃんはテーブルの準備。いらっしゃいませ。
Chinami charged off towards the customer. What? Chinami!
いいよ、私も行くから。ようちゃん、代わりにテーブルよろしくね。
I was already feeling like I'd been in for a very fun ride.
本日はご来店ありがとうございます。
Chinami cheerfully greeted the new customer.
お客様は何名様ですかだよ。
Asa was hurriedly teaching her what to say from the back.
お客様は何名様ですか
Seemed like the customer was taken aback by the intensity of her voice, but since Chinami was all smiles, they loosened up and answered.
何名か分かったら空いてるテーブルにご案内してね。何名か分かったら空いてるテーブルにご案内してね。
Doofus, you're not supposed to repeat that word for word!
そのまま復唱するな、バカ
Come here for a second.
お前、ちょっと来いで、ちなみの髪引っ張らないでお兄ちゃんすみません、お客様。テーブルまでご案内いたします。
Thanks to also taking over, things worked out without any issue.
何するんだよ、ちなみが接客してたのに。
How were you taking care of them in any sense? You just literally repeated everything we said.
それだけじゃないよ。ちゃんとスマイルしてたんだから。
Yeah, whatever. You just stand by and we'll handle things from now.
新しいお客様だ。いらっしゃいませ。
With no time for me to stop her, the missile that is Chinami rocketed towards him.
本日はご来店ありがとうございます。
Asa was still in the process of getting the other customers set up. I was very much not in the mood to do so. But I was going to have to support Chinami. Ask them how many people they wanted to have in their party. Got that?
お客様、何名様ですかだ
Are you a voice recorder or what, like Jesus Christ?
お前はどこぞのレスラーか
Boss, would you mind covering the front?
了解。それにしても元気があっていいね。合格だ。
I was pretty sure just about anyone could pass in his book. I dragged Chinami away to the back.
お兄ちゃん、お兄ちゃん。マスターがちなみのこと合格だって。接客も待ってんだって。
Didn't you have enough already? Call it a day and go home.
やだやだ。ちなみはお金貯めなきゃなんだもん。じゃないと今月生きていけないんだもん。
Okay, then I'll dispatch you to a different part-time job.
グリグリしてメイドに送ろうとしないでお兄ちゃん。
Even if you started working here, your first payday would come next month at the earliest. You get your pay monthly here, not daily.
そうなの
Yeah, so you don't have to work anymore, okay? Couldn't have her cause even more trouble for the store, and above all, when Sheena wouldn't allow her to work either. Sheena was pretty sad in bed. I'll give you some pocket money back at home. I should get her spirits back up.
うん。
Unexpectedly, though, she shook her
お
head.
兄ちゃんが働いてるのにちなみだけ何もしないなんて迷惑だけかけてるなんて
Wasn't like her to say something like that. Look, you don't have to worry about me working or anything. Chinami bit her lip, somewhat frustratedly so, as if she wanted to object to what I said but couldn't. For some reason, for someone like her who operated on the principle of speak first, think later, that was pretty unusual. That wasn't the first time I'd seen her do this. It happened quite often ever since we moved here to Ibarigasaki. I didn't exactly know what the meaning of behind that was, though.
ちなみちゃん
Also came to us, apparently done with her custom.
接客は今度ちゃんと教えるからそれから一緒に頑張ろう。あ、でもだから今日はメニューを運んでくれるかな。
Chinami blinked in surprise. Watcher makes up every single fucking order under the sun.
今から私がテーブルのお客様のとこに運んでいくからよく見てるんだよ。
Urged by Aso, who got going to the kitchen, Chinami followed along. A smile had returned to her face. Thanks, Aso. Although this meant I wouldn't be free from the worry that disaster would strike.
お待たせしました。こちらアストライヤーの天秤になります。
Again, unnecessary panty shot. Also, who that? I want to know who that is. Anyways. But also, as a reference, Chinami diligently engaged in waitress work. She couldn't take her orders yet, so she was only bringing the dishes also as Dad prepared the tables. She was wearing a smile that would never fade. When there was nothing else to do, the two of us would wipe the tables, arrange the chairs and stuff together. There wasn't much work to do, but that didn't stop her from running about restlessly. Her apron fluttering all the while, so it was the short flared skirt.
笑顔がいいね。合格だ。
Be honest, boss, was it really just a smile you were looking at? It was then when Chinami dropped the wet towel from the tray she was carrying. Chinami bent down and reached her hand towards the ground. Whoa there! The tray in her hand was about to tilt over, so hurriedly supported. You gotta be careful, there's food on the tray. I'll go get a fresh towel, so you just go on. Having successfully prevented a disaster in the making, relief washed over me.
麗しい兄弟愛だね。
Seriously, boss, if you have nothing to do, please fetch a towel.
おっと。次のメニューを作らないと。
All smiles, our maid-loving boss returned back into the kitchen.
お待たせしました。こちら、ファエトンの馬車になります。
One by one, she placed the dishes on the table. I feared she might spill it, but looks like she did it without a
ご注文は
hitch.
以上でよろしかったでしょうか。
Two young men at the table nodded, upon which Chinami directed a bow at them and turned around. The uniform probably touched the table in the process of the check that was about... In the process, as the check what that was on it fell to the ground. In order to pick it up, Chinami bent down. Her short flared skirt fluttered up. Her panties almost became visible. The customers looked down at her. Sincerely apologize for that. I will leave the check right here. I quickly picked it up and put it back on the table.
なんでちなみを蹴っ飛ばすのお兄ちゃん。
Enjoy your meal. I dragged Chinami away to the back. The two gentlemen were still dumbstruck.
ようちゃん、ちなみちゃんを助けたんだと思うけど、お客様がびっくりしてたよ。
Also had a wry smile on her face. While I can hardly kick customers.
それで代わりにちなみを蹴るのはどういうわけなの？
Pipe had hurried back to the kitchen and fetched the next order to dish out.
お兄ちゃんのバカ。
Chinami walked off unhappily. Also, does this kind of thing happen a lot?
この制服目当てのお客様もいるみたいだけど、全然少ないから。
Are you okay?
気をつけてるけど、変なお客様が来たら助けてね。
Wouldn't it be better to just tell your dad to change the uniform?
もうトレードマークみたいになっちゃってるし。だから、ようちゃんが助けてね。
I wasn't really sure that was something we should be taking delight over.
私もちなみちゃんに負けないように頑張らなきゃ。
Almost getting your panties seen by customers wasn't anything to do your best at. I heaved a sigh and went to deliver the new towel.
お待たせしました。こちら、オリオンの棍棒になります。
Chinami was cheerfully back at it, a bit away from me. Was cheerfully watching over her.
もっとちなみちゃんを信用してもいいんじゃないかい？
You can only say that because you don't live with her.
僕には君が過保護に見えるけどね。
Quite frankly, no. No. That's partially what's fucking pissing me off. It's everyone like, oh, you're like, you just, you're being only fucking worried. Like, you're fucking, you're fucking sibling love. She's actually just a fucking walking disaster and he's just trying to prevent shit from happening. Like, you're like, oh, overprotective big brother. No. Like, sure, it was the case with fucking Asuka. But every other case was literally just a case of, I know what she is capable of, and I wish to protect you all from this fucking menace. That's also just because you don't know her very well. He shrugged his shoulders.
ちなみちゃんはずっとここで働いてくれるのかい？
I'd rather like to keep it to a one-time thing, but I don't know how much I can do about that.
ちなみちゃん次第か。
Will you hire if she says she wants to work
そう
here?
やね。
Contentedly, he went
だ
on.
って彼女は合格だからね。
I reckon it wasn't just my imagination that I felt like his criteria for passing was of a slightly impure nature.
彼女の笑顔は作り物じゃないから合格と言ったのさ。そういう意味で君も合格だったんだよ。
In my case, it's just a business smile.
仕事に対する誠実さが本物だったんだよ。
With that, he went back to the kitchen.
ご注文は以上でよろしかったでしょうか。
Her all too spirited voice echoed throughout the cafe. Chinami's smile was a genuine one. Also, his dad said it didn't appear fake to him. Was that really the case? Why am I questioning it? Keeping Chinami in a corner of my eyes as she unsteadily carried on with her work, I also got started. Then, when they got close to evening, a familiar customer showed up.
いらっしゃいませってなんだアスカくんじゃない。
なんだはねえだろう。れっきとした客だぜ。
I don't see you come here too often. Did you have something to do at school?
いや、だったら制服になるだろう。今日は商店街に買い物にな。
カメラ見に。
まあな。
Oops.
つうか早く座らせてくれ。歩き疲れて寄ったんだから。
はいはい。それじゃあ1名様ご案内。
After also had shown him to a table, Chinami brought a glass of water on a tray.
オカルト部長だ。
あれ、ちなみちゃんもバイト始めたのか？
はい、お客様にご奉仕中です。オカルト部長もお客様ならご奉仕します。お兄ちゃんがちなみのお尻蹴った。
Because you said something that sounds wrong.
嫉妬でちか？ちなみのお尻を触ってあげりに。ようちゃん、ダメだよ暴力は。
相変わらず過保護なんだな。
This is what I'd call disciplinary measures.
あ、そう。話し込むのは仕事が終わってから。オーダー取るの忘れないように。
なんで私だけ注意されるんだろう。
Asuka made his order and Asura begrudgingly walked off to tell her dad. Chinami remembered to go get his order when it's ready.
言われなくても分かってるよ。
With quick steps, Chinami went after Asura.
小ヶ坂は仕事いいのかよ。
The only thing that's left is cleaning up the table after you've left. There just happened to be no other customers around at this time. Allowing myself to take a small break, I also sat down. So you were buying a new camera, you
海
said?
水浴で散々壊されたからな。まあ買い替え時ってのもあったし、まずは最新モデルを見にな。
Checking how good they'll be for taking pictures of
UFO
UFOs.
だけじゃねえぜ。都市伝説の死神が現れたら、そいつも激写だ。
Any progress pertaining to that urban
な
legend?
んも。来週からまた学校で聞き込む予定だ。
Is Chinami coming
ち
too?
なみちゃんがいいって言うならな。
This might have been less worrying to me, more ways than just one. To have her participate in occult circle activities than work at the cafe. Tell me, should you figure anything
別
out?
にいいけど、お前もなんだかんだで都市伝説が気になってんだな。
Well, I won't deny
都市
that.
伝説の資料が集まったら、そのうち資料展でも開くから見に来てくれ。
And what exactly can you do with that?
秋になれば学園祭があるからな。岡県の出し物ってやつだ。
Wonder if our club was doing anything with the school festival. Are circles allowed to do stuff for the festival?
正式な部と違って場所取りが難しいけどな。まあ今年が無理でも来年があるし、学園祭でもちなみちゃんを借りるからな。
Well, just don't go too crazy.
お待たせしました。こちらアイスコーヒーです。
あ、サンキュー。
There were glasses for 4 on the tray.
ようちゃん、お仕事サボってる。
I'd be glad to help out if there's actually something to do.
私も休憩するから。ちなみちゃんもお疲れ様。お疲れ様です。
Now that work gets settled down, we all surrounded the same table. It would seem the 3 extra iced coffees were for our break. The boss also started to read the newspaper at the counter.
アスカくん、今度の肝試しはいつになるの？
肝試しじゃなくて夜の張り込みな。今さらどっちでもいいけどよ。
で、いつやるの？
まだ何も収穫ねえし、わからねえよ。
次こそは虫取り網で宇宙人を捕まえます。
If you decide you're going to have one, tell me first of all before you tell Chinami.
わかったって。何にしろ情報がないことにはな。
学校で聞き込みとかやってたの？
いや、お盆の間はどこも部活やってなかったからな。でも来週から再開だ。
ちなみも応援してますね。
ちなみちゃん、聞き込みを。
すみません。昼間のちなみはミルキーウェイのウェイトレスなので難しそうです。
To Vegas, she was all set on working here.
だけど夜のちなみはおかけんの一員ですから、お声がかかれば虫取り網と一緒にハセ参じます。
オッケー。じゃあ張り込みの時はよろしく頼むぜ。
任せてください。ようちゃん、複雑な顔してる。
Can you blame me if it's work during the day and stake out at night? Looked like there was only really the option of keeping it on her so she wouldn't overdo things. Are you fine with her working
も
here?
ちろん。っていうか、反対してるのようちゃんだけだよ。
Well, I'll just go ahead and say it won't be my fault if the nuclear missile blows up.
大丈夫だよ。ちなみちゃんが失敗しても、ようちゃんがフォローしてくれるから。
Is that really not worrying?
それに、ちなみちゃんって接客業に向いてると思うしね。
You think?
ちなみちゃんがいると、みんな笑顔になるから。
And no one exactly was, but Aunt Chino said something similar before. She said that while Cold War sounded bad as a word per se, the nuclear missile that is Chinami would have the same influence in terms of making everyone get along all happy and merrily. The people in the Cold War did not get along.
ま、異論はねえな。聞き込みの時もちなみちゃんが相手だと向こうは警戒しねえし。
Shy Souza had also taken a liking to her, easily taking a liking to her. But I always added to it, it's often compared to how she acted. And even always adds to it, it's often compared to how she acted in the beginning.
麻生先輩、期待に応えられるよう頑張りますから、今後ともよろしくお願いします。こちらこそよろしくね。
She was a prodigy when it came to making friends. Since I knew that was a forte of hers, she backed up with serious effort. I suppose I had no choice but to agree there too.
お兄ちゃん、忘れてそうだから今のうちに言っておくけど、帰ったらお小遣いよろしくね。
You said you didn't need it.
事情が変わったんだよ。肝試しのために宇宙人捕獲グッズを揃えないといけないからね。虫取り網だけじゃ心もとないから、これは決定事項で変更不可なんだよ。
How about this? If you manage to finish up your summer break homework, I will give you some.
そっちは妖精さんに任せるつもりだから、ちなみの管轄外だよ。だからお小遣いちょうだいね。
What characterized my dimwit sister was that her one precious forte was overshadowed by a huge conglomeration of shortcomings. Two more beatings. I just feel exhausted already. Chinami noisily bolted into the living room.
今朝は早起きできたよお兄ちゃん。約束通りちなみに朝食。
Late morning to you.
もう食後のコーヒー飲んでる。
Alright, guess I gotta clean everything up
ちょ
now.
っと待ってよ。昨日ちなみと約束したじゃない。早起きできたらちなみに朝食作らせてくれるって。
Well, it certainly is early for your standards, but if it was a weekday, you'd still have to run to make it to school on time.
今日は日曜なんだから負けてほしいよお兄ちゃん。
No can do. You wanna get up early, make sure you manage to get up earlier than me.
お兄ちゃん、いつも何時に起きてるの？
6 a.m. Fucking monster.
ちなみには未知の時間だよお兄ちゃん。
Well, it's time most people get up for school. Those who commute by train get up even earlier. I used to get up at 5. Even though my bus came at like a little bit after 7. I literally like voluntarily woke up like 2 hours early so I could wake up. Basically. Because I do not used to not get started in the morning at all. It took a while, especially since my stomach just hated me in the mornings.
まだ夏休みなんだから負けてほしいよお兄ちゃん。
No can do, you'd clearly sleep in on the opening ceremony day with that kind of attitude.
もっとちなみを信用してほしいよお兄ちゃん。
If you want it, earn it. Manage to get up earlier than me at least just once, and you'll have my faith in you.
じゃあお兄ちゃんより早く起きたらちなみに作らせてくれるんだね。
Oh, I'll just tell you in advance that pulling an all-nighter and then pretending you got up earlier doesn't count. Your eyes form horizontal lines when you don't sleep, so I'd instantly notice.
そんなことしないよ。ちなみは1日10時間は寝ないと正常に稼働しないからね。
Weak. Come on, you aren't operating normally even with those 10 hours of sleep.
あげますようにけなされるとショックが2倍なんだけど。
Look, just eat your breakfast already. I gotta clear the table.
絶対お兄ちゃんより早起きしてみせるからね。
Yeah, sure, whatever. Turning my back to her as she sat down with indignation, I carried my tableware to the sink.
お待たせしました。こちらプレアデスの7人姉妹になります。
So Chinami started another day of work. I felt depressed as I could vividly imagine that, similar to yesterday, this wouldn't be good on my stomach.
ようちゃん、どんよりオーラが出てるよ。ちなみちゃんを見習ってスマイルスマイル。
I wonder why. Chinami's smile is so overly dazzling that I get the urge to give her a
今
noogie.
度はどす黒いオーラが出てるよ。
Well, at least she's only carrying dishes to the tables.
慣れてきたら接客の方もお願いする予定だよ。
Why are you so eager to ignite that nuclear missile?
そんなこと思ってるのようちゃんだけだよ。もっとちなみちゃんを信用してあげればいいのに。
You know, you've known her for maybe like a month or 2. He's known her for all his fucking life and has had plenty of reasons not to trust her anymore. I'm hearing whispers of my past experiences telling me to be wary of her. She's the bearer of the demon's hands.
もうお兄ちゃんなんだから。
I'm going to beat you, Asaho. I've been wondering for quite a long time already, but why do you always interpret things so broadly?
誰が見たってようちゃんは過保護だよ。
There is simply no way.
無理にごまかしてる。
Denying it like a gentleman didn't make her believe me at this point.
お客様来ちゃった。ようちゃん、また後でね。
Gotcha. Give it your
よう
best.
ちゃんもね、いつまでもちなみちゃんばかり見てちゃダメだよ。
Also then left to attend to a new customer. As for Chinami, she was restlessly moving about the room with an unceasing beaming smile on her face. I had no choice but to admit that she was giving it her all. I should trust her more, huh? Resolving myself to focus on my own work, I removed my eyes from Chinami, but I made sure nothing would escape my ears.
ちなみちゃん、ウェイトレスも板についてきたね。
After a little while, presumably done attending her customer, also came and talked to her.
はい、もう完璧です。一番大切な笑顔はちなみちゃんなら心配ないし、そろそろ接客もお願いしてみようかな。
As I'd been keeping my eyes open, I caught wind of something bad. Wait, you just said you'd do that once she's used to her work.
だからちなみちゃんもう慣れるどころかとっくにマスターレベルです。
Oh yeah, have you? Let's go ahead and hear what you've mastered, you little twerp.
あ、そう。またお客さんだよ。
はーい。ちなみちゃん、ランチタイムが終わったら接客のやり方教えてあげるね。ありがとうございます。
Go figure her ears weren't going to be enough. couldn't keep my eyes away from her after all. Chinami returned to the kitchen together with Oso's dad. As I was about to return to my own post, a familiar voice entered my ears.
やあ、お勤めご苦労様。
奥泉先輩。
Yesterday was Asuka, and today was Okaizumi.
商店街でお買い物ですか？
いや、我に帰ったらここにいたんだ。
何ですかそれ？
たまにあるんだよ。夜眠って目が覚めると往来を歩いていることが。ただの無遊病の類だから心配はしていないんだけどね。
That is concerning, very much so.
パジャマのままだったら僕も困るけど、ちゃんと着替えてるし問題ないよ。
It was hardly the issue.
昨夜は視聴生がちらついたからね。ある程度予期していた。初体験の時は僕も驚いたけど、今では慣れたものさ。
This man has some fucking mental illness. Seeing how he could smile all blithely, this guy was a serious big shot worthy of respect.
とりあえず案内しますね。1名様です。
ちゃんと財布も所持しているし、散歩の後の腹ごしらえに僕も満足さ。
Irrespective of our current thoughts on the sleepwalking, Okaizumi sat down at the
い
table.
らっしゃいませ。お水です。
At once, Chinami brought a glass of water.
おや、君は小笠君の妹くんだったね。
Sadly,
テンクルでお兄ちゃんがお世話になってます。
お兄さんと一緒にバイトを始めたんだね。笑顔がいいし、元気もいいし、接客業にぴったりだと思うよ。
ちなみも常々そう思ってたところです。
since everyone flattered her, I'd become trapped in a situation where I couldn't object to her working here. Asa took his order, and the two waitresses returned to Asa's dad.
小笠君もバイトを続けているみたいだね。
Yeah, I don't think I'll be quitting anytime in the near future.
君は先生の許可を得ているんだよね。妹くんは許可はもらったのかい？
Come to think of it, she hasn't done that.
ここはひばり校に近いからバレやすいよ。怒られる前に申告することを勧めるけど。
Actually, I'd like them to find out and have him quit.
なるほど。君はバイトに反対なんだね。
After saying that, Okaizumi took something out from
バイ
the
トの
item.
許可をもらいたいならひばり校に寄るついでに僕が言っておいてもよかったんだけど。
The item he took out was the kaleidoscope music box I remembered him showing us once in our club room. That's the music box you said was broken, if I remember correctly.
そうだよ。天文部の元顧問に再度修理を頼んでいたものが登校日に帰ってきたんだけど。
Is there some problem with it?
まあね。やっぱり音が鳴らないんだ。
Okaizumi used the key on the bottom side to wind it up, but while the disc with the beads on it started to rotate, its melody remained to be heard. Does that mean it'll be tough to fix? Is it like a set? Basically, the fucking like music box that Chinami has was made out of parts from this kaleidoscope music box.
そうみたいだね。元顧問がどこの業者に修理をお願いしたのかはわからないけど、
He said it was quite old, right?
先代の天文部が所持していたものだからね。聞いた話だと15年は経っているみたいだよ。
That made it pretty old, right?
だからこそ修理できるものならしてやりたい。屋上の天体望遠鏡が破棄された今、数少ない天文部の伝統の一つだからね。
Do you have any plan on what to do with it now?
僕が直接店に頼んでみようと思ってね。ひばりが崎にはオルゴール堂も建っているから。カレイドオルゴールは有名とは言い難いけど、土産品の一つになっているんだよ。
But there isn't any music box store in the shopping district, is
運河
there?
沿いに立っているよ。この辺りだって探せばあるんじゃないかな。ただ、カレイドオルゴールを扱っているかはわからないけどね。
When I saw it for the first time in the club room, I did remember also saying it was the first time she'd seen one of those specifically. Suppose it was true that they were a pretty unknown souvenir.
ま、修理の報告にこれから学校に寄ってみるつもりなんだ。
This disc stopped
僕は今日
rotating.
我に帰ったらこのオルゴールも手にしていた。僕の手で修理を頼むのはおそらく神の啓示だと思ってね。
Maybe with the death omen stars. Okizumi winded it up once more.
壊れているとは言っても万華鏡の部分は生きている。また覗いてみるかい？
By looking at the beads set into the rotating disc through the tube's lens, the music box also functioned as a kaleidoscope. That was where the name Kaleidoscope Music Box came
完全に壊れてい
from.
るわけじゃないし、直せる店があるかもしれない。見つかるまで回ってみるつもりだよ。
Senpai, you're going to try stores right after
許可
this.
がもらえたらね。どうしてだい？
There's someone I'd like you to show the kaleidoscope to. Promised me. Promised me I'd show her a kaleidoscope. She said she never saw one before, and she also said she'd like to see one. Although I didn't know whether she still remembered that. Could I borrow it for just some time? I'll return it to you tomorrow. If I couldn't meet Mare tonight, I reckon I'd be able to show you.
問題ないよ。これから許可だけはもらってくるけど、修理自体は急ぎというわけじゃないからね。
Thanks,
明
Don.
日急いで返す必要もないから。
Okizumi handed me the music
見せたい相
box.
手っていうのは誰なんだい？
Mare, I've promised her some time ago I would.
彼女、カレードオルゴールに興味があるのかい？
Nah, it's just that he has never seen a kaleidoscope itself. Okizumi smiled
だったら
joyfully.
不思議な模様に驚くんじゃないかな。
Hope she'll like it.
そういうのを喜ぶ年頃というには、メア君はもう大人だろうけど、
I assure you, she has quite a lot of childish sides.
背伸びをしたい年頃なのかな。彼女が何歳かは知らないけど、時折無理に達観したようなことを言うよね。それがなんていうか、危うく見えることもある。
We were on the same wavelength
小笠
there.
坂君、仕事はいいのかい？アスホ君たちは働いているみたいだけど。
The number of customers seemed to have increased while we'd been talking, and the two of them were busy handling them all.
お待たせしました。こちらカシオペアの椅子になります。
Chinami's all too energetic voice echoes
ちな
throughout.
みちゃん、それは岡泉先輩のメニューだよ。そうでした。
She mistakenly delivered his order to the wrong table.
申し訳ございません、お客様。すみませんでした。
She was apologizing with a smile of all things. Wanted to drag her off to the back again to reprimand her, but the customer also forgave her blunder with a
彼
smile.
女の笑顔は周囲を穏やかにする力があるね。
However, there hadn't been a single instance of any of her other actions having a positive effect on the world. Since Chinami was then coming this way, I got up. As I passed her, I gave her a pat on the head.
あれ、お兄ちゃん。
I headed to the staff room to leave the music box
その
there.
オルゴールってちなみちゃん、岡泉先輩が待ってるよ。はい先輩、お待たせしました。
ありがとう。君は優秀なウェイトレスだと思うよ。
ありがとうございます。
With lunchtime over, Asuo now started to teach Chinami how to take care of customers. Since there weren't that many customers coming at that time, Chinami didn't cause any sort of disasters. While smallish mishaps were happening frequently, Chinami was always apologizing pleasantly, so the damage was always contained. It was a relief. The thought that I'd have to deal with this again tomorrow made me feel depressed. As a brother, though, maybe I should be happy about this. It could provide her with valuable work experience that she can use in the future. Found you, Mare.
見つかった。
Waited for the night to drop at the lookout, and then went through the usual game of hide and seek. I was relieved to see her here. I'd entirely been prepared to not find her because of what had occurred with Kosame. Sorry about that incident with
別
Kosame.
に。
She swore to me that she would never again attack you. Mare appeared huffy. I, of course, never thought she'd forgive her that easily. How's Mother?
元気。そのあたりを飛び回ってるし。
It was also a relief to me that he didn't suffer any injuries from having been hit by Kosame's Naginata. I'm really sorry. Mare remained huffy. So, you see, I came here today because I wanted to make things up to you.
別に、ヨウくんが悪いわけじゃ。
Whatever, just take this. I held out to her the item I'd brought along.
それ、何？
Music
マ
box.
ーメイドール？
No, it's clearly not Nox. It's called a kaleidoscope music box. In short, it's a kaleidoscope. Since the music box part was broken, that was perfectly correct.
万華鏡
Yeah, remember? I promised you I'd show you one.
星空みたいに綺麗なのよね。
Sure is. Want to take a look right away?
別に
But despite saying so, she readily came near me. I'll wind it up now.
何か回り出した。
Okay, now what you'll want to do is look into the long tube that's above the part that's like a rotating gem. I'll let Mare hold it.
覗けばいいの。
Yeah, just like if you were looking through a telescope. Mare gingerly drew her face near it. She closed one of her eyes and used the other to peer inside.
模様がある。赤、青、緑。たくさんの色。たくさんの形。動いてる。移り変わる星空より。ずっと多い色も。形も。速さも。
The screen is still rotating in my eyes. Help. After that, Mare fell silent. She haughtily gazed inside, observing the sky of gems that came to light before her eyes. Decided to sit down on the spot and laid down. Many lights, inferior to those of the telescopes, were out tonight, twinkling tonight. Above me unfolded the nighttime summer sky. When the season changes over, the stars in the sky would change too. The change occurred over a much longer period of time than the change of the pattern in a kaleidoscope. So I had to wait like this until Mare was done with the kaleidoscope.
よーくん
Having heard Mare's voice, I sat up. So, what you think? Enjoy your first time looking through a kaleidoscope?
それはいいんだけど。
Mare appeared huffy. It was nothing unusual, but it was also the case when she used the telescope for the first time, so that reaction didn't disappoint me. Was it okay, like the stargazing?
そうじゃなくて。
She wasn't just huffy, but was acting fidgety over something.
万華鏡見えなくなったんだけど。
Oh, I guess the key stopped.
ネジ
Right, there's a key at the bottom. If you don't wind it up, the patterns won't move.
お
Why are you walking back like you're gonna run away from me?
別に
Where's the music box?
別に
She was holding it behind her back, almost like she didn't want me to see it. Stop showing anything, right? We just gotta wind up the key and it'll come back for you to see.
そうなの
Yeah,
元通りになるの
right? So just let me see it for a
わ
second.
かった
The music box in Mare's hand was separated into 3 parts.
はいまずは一つ目
She handed me the tube.
二つ目
She handed me the disc.
最後に三つ目よ
That was a spring protruding from the base.
ーくん早くネジ回して
Hold on, what happened to this thing?
ネジ回して元通りにして
Winding up the key won't do jack. The thing's completely broken.
だから早く直してたら
I didn't know it was like this when you said that.
嘘つき
A terrible headache assaulted me. Tell me, just how in the world did it end up like this?
模様が動かなくなったからガチャガチャやってたらこうなった
The intensity of my headache increased. Considering it had stopped playing, maybe its age had made the whole thing itself
ネ
fragile.
ジ回せば元通りって言ったのに
Well, yeah, but not if the thing's broken into parts like this.
そこにネジがあるのよね
She snatched the base out of my hands.
これのこと
That's a spring.
じゃあこれ
That's, what exactly was that? That was something like that, like a chain protruding.
何か引っかかってる感じ
Mare began to forcefully pull on the chain. Hey, don't be more gentle with it! What if you broke it even more? Man, how was I gonna explain this to Okazumi?
あ取れたみたい
I literally just told you not to break it even more! I took back the base. Mare had a pendant in her hands. What's that?
鎖を引っ張ったら出てきた
It was a plated gem ornament dangling down the chain. rough, but I guess the surface had been coated or something, because it was reflecting the starlight faintly. It was about the size of Mare's
何
palm.
これ
Well, a pendant, I reckon. You said it came out from inside.
バネと一緒に
I'm begging you, don't damage it more.
ネジはどこ
Look, winding it up won't do anything. Rather, it'd only get more damage if you kept fiddling with it. I'll hold on to it. I took the pendant from
どうす
Mare.
るの
It might be a part of the music box, so yeah, naturally the only choice I have is to have it fixed together with all the other
治
parts.
るの
Dunno, I'll have to ask.
うん
See, Mayor Huffy, he would say, this thing was actually broken from the start, so, well, you don't have to feel bad about it.
別に
Sorry I got upset with you.
責任なんか感じてないったら
I'll come to show you again once it's fixed, okay? Mayor looked up at me sullenly.
また万華鏡見られる
Yep, you have my word on it. Even if this one could be repaired, there were always other kaleidoscopes. I remembered Okaizumi saying that there was a store here in Hibarigasaki that sold kaleidoscope music boxes specifically. Next time, I'll also let you listen to a music box. How
オ
about
ル
that?
ゴール
Ever heard one?
ないけど
Well, you'll be in for a treat.
楽しみにしてないけど聞いてみてもいい
It's a promise, then. After some hesitation, Mayor said,
約束
Don't forget about it, alright?
忘れることはないわ
She responded quite emphatically, which
約
surprised me.
束を忘れることはしないそれだけは必ずしない
How's it go, girl?
子供扱いしないで
Mayor got angry, upon which I smiled. The broken kaleidoscope music box in my hands, I thus spent the remaining time stargazing together with the mayor. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and see you next time. Bye-bye.